Alright, so before we get into this video, I need to address the 167,000 pound elephant in the room, and yeah, I hit 100k. The last time I uploaded a video, I'm pretty sure I was at like 80,000 subs. So yeah, a lot has changed. There's a lot of new people here. Hello everybody. If you're new here, say what's up in the comments if you're new. And if you're a returning subscriber and you've been here for a minute, let me know when you subscribed. Like, what was the sub count at, if you remember when you subscribed? I'm curious. Thank you so much for being here. This is so crazy. It's still like not fully real to me. I feel like I don't know if it ever will be. One of my videos hit 1 million views, which is fucking nuts. I'm glad out of all the videos to go viral, it was that one, because I think it really did help some people, and I'm very glad to hear that. And I started YouTube less than a year ago, and I never would have expected something like this to happen, so I'm very happy, and it's a lot to take in, but it's very cool. So thank you for being here and listening to what I have to say and like believing in me and my message and yada yada yada. I feel like I'm giving like a Grammy speech or something, but once I get my plaque from YouTube, I will probably do some sort of video honoring said milestone, but I've yet to even get an email from them about that, so it's gonna have to wait for a while. Shit, by that time, we might be at 200k, who knows? If you fuck with my content and you want to see more, subscribe to my Patreon. I have a whole podcast episode about YouTube and blowing up on YouTube and what that has been like for me. So if you're interested in that, hit me up on Patreon. There's a link in my bio. Today, I want to talk about mob mentality and a dash of cancel culture. A lot of y'all have been asking me to talk about this, and for a while, I didn't really want to because I was like, I don't really have anything to add to the conversation. Like, I feel like that cancel culture topic has been covered many times and it's kind of like tired at this point, but I do have some points I'd like to make, especially about mob mentality specifically and how it really like takes over internet culture and how it is shaping the young minds of today and not in a good way. There's this podcast that I really love called Benchtopia, and once they said bitches hate nuance, like as a joke, but like literally so true. Like, bitches really do hate nuance. There's no room for gray areas. A lot of the opinions and discourse that I see online is very black and white, this or that, good or bad. When in reality, that's not really how the world works at all. But because we live in such a like divided society at the moment, especially in the States, it seems like you can only be on one side or the other, and if you have any sort of opinion that is slightly different or goes against your side or anything like that, then you're like executed or something via the internet, aka canceled. And it's honestly so dramatic and so extra for no reason, and we can't have any sort of real conversation that's going to get us anywhere if we're constantly attacking people for having a different opinion. So before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service company that provides protection from surveillance and data mining so you can use the internet safely without using any of your personal data. Surfshark also lifts national limitations from websites like Netflix and Disney Plus, so you can stream tons of movies no matter where you are in the world. So if you want to protect yourself from those scarily pointed targeted ads, or you just want a better movie and TV selection, use my promo code Madison for 83% off your purchase, as well as 3 extra free months. Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you really have nothing to lose. Thank you again, Surfshark, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to the scheduled programming. I think the art of civil discourse is completely gone. Being able to disagree with someone without it being like some sort of like a personal attack, it doesn't exist anymore. As someone who is online, I've noticed that a lot. I obviously am a very opinionated person, and I'm not afraid to speak my mind, and a lot of people don't like that, and I'm honestly fine with that because I think if you got haters, you're doing something right, so it's not a big deal. But I've noticed that people will automatically label me as some sort of thing or whatever just because I say something in a video or I make a joke or I just have an opinion that doesn't align with the perfect SJW liberal Twitter person that honestly doesn't know how to speak or think for themselves. So I think the reason why this mob mentality exists online is because the internet breeds that kind of behavior since it's so anonymous. In my video about being canceled on TikTok, I talk about that, where, you know, I made such a stupid little TikTok about the Claremont twins. It was really honestly not that deep, but so many people came for me, like to the point where my account literally got suspended for like a month, and like people were like DMing me like death threats and like really like going crazy with it. It's not like I was telling someone to go friggin' unalive themselves or whatever. I got so much hate for it, and it was honestly beyond me, because I'm like, what happened to just being like, I didn't really agree with that, and then just scrolling just continuing on with your life. I don't understand why people feel the need to assert themselves in such an aggressive way whenever they come across somebody who they don't know online who has a different opinion than them. Especially if, God forbid, you have an opinion about their fave and it's not like you like praising them like they're a god. I hate to be that guy who says, oh, everybody's so sensitive nowadays, but honestly, like, y'all need to get some thicker skin, because Jesus, I imagine all these people online who get butthurt over the littlest things going out into the real world and just shattering to pieces when they realize that nobody cares about the shit that they care about online.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms.
The real world is way more complex, and honestly, real people don't have time to complain about little things that, you know, teenagers on TikTok complain about. And the more people concede to this culture of oversensitivity, the worse it gets, because people are really out here being silenced because they're afraid of being canceled.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
And to me, that's censorship. When you are so afraid of people attacking you for having a lukewarm take, you're being censored. And I'm pretty sure most liberals don't believe in censorship, so I think it's kind of ironic how the mob that exists online is forcing people into this one-track minded, like, narrow way of thinking. Liberals will claim to be open-minded and care about human rights, but at the same time, they will attack anybody who doesn't follow, like, the social media guidebook when it comes to social and political beliefs. To me, internet liberals and conservatives are two sides of the same coin. They're both extremely close-minded and aggressive and unwilling to hear out a different opinion. Either you believe this or you're wrong and you're a bad person. I feel like that's very common within, like, the liberal space is like, if you don't believe this, then you're a bad person, you're racist, homophobic, ableist, whatever, when it's not that simple. If we continue to attack people for just speaking their minds, we're never gonna get anywhere. Liberals are all progressive, but where is the progression if we're not actually having conversations? And I feel like a lot of these people online, they just regurgitate shit that they read on Twitter or heard on TikTok, and they don't actually understand what it is that they're saying. But because it's fed to them as like this right opinion, as this opinion that is for those who care about people, then they should just go along with it blindly and not question it at all. To me, like, liberalism is about caring about human rights and like the well-being of people. But how are liberals going to claim to care about people when they literally bully people online for the dumbest shit, literally attacking people? And that's something I've noticed a lot on TikTok. I don't have Twitter. I'm sure it's very similar over there because I deleted Twitter back in like 2015 for a reason. You could go on TikTok and watch a video of a cat and someone would have something to say about it. They're like, oh, you're petting your cat wrong, you're an animal abuser, you need to go to jail. Actually, the shape of your thighs is really triggering to me, and you should really put a trigger warning on your OOTD because you're body checking. I think a lot of people put all this blame onto these content creators without looking inward and thinking, perhaps maybe I should fix the way that I use the internet, or I should, choose to follow different people, or maybe keep my thoughts to myself and just keep scrolling. Like, I'd say any normal person does that. Like, if they see something they don't agree with, they'll just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, next. But it takes a certain special kind of human being to not only think something so delusional, but to also type it out with their fingers and click send with the intention of said creator seeing it. Psychotic. I mean, I get paragraphs from people who, like, apparently don't like my content, but I'm like, but you're literally DMing me and commenting on every single one of my videos and pulling up to every single live stream. Like, sounds like you're a fan, babe. I don't know what to tell you. It's just this odd obsession that people have with, like, seeming right, even if it's in the TikTok comments, like, which honestly, what is that really doing, you know? I think people think they're, like, activists or something just for yelling at people online. Hate to break it to you, but it's really not giving what you thought it was supposed to give. If that's your version of activism and doing your part, then you're just as bad as any other complacent asshole. You should really reevaluate your whole life, because it's not doing shit. And, you know, I'm sure some of y'all already know how I feel about, like, Instagram activism. I think it's bullshit. Doesn't mean anything, because I've met so many people who partake in said social media activism, but in real life they're like the most ignorant people I've ever met, and they actually don't consume what it is that they, like, repost. They just repost it so it looks good because the infographic is aesthetic or whatever, and they know it'll make them look good, but they don't actually do the work. They don't do the reading. They don't show up to class. They just pretend like they know what the fuck they're talking about. It's just a bunch of rebels without a cause. And I honestly can't even say rebels, because they're not. They want to be, but they're not. Critical thinking skills is truly, like, lost upon this generation, and it's fucking sad. Critical thinking is how you progress. It's how you form your own opinions and actually live up to those beliefs. I feel like we've been taught to take everything we see online as verbatim when it comes to discussions about, like, politics or social issues, when it really shouldn't be that way. I just wish people could be a bit more objective and stop arguing and stop debating with their heart on their sleeves. This doesn't require all this, like, emotional labor. Like, so many people lead with their emotions and they don't actually use their fucking brain and think critically and have an objective viewpoint. And I get it, like, a lot of these matters are very emotional. Obviously, like, talking about things like feminism or racism is gonna get you emotional. I get emotional when I think about that stuff, but at the same time, you gotta fucking use your brain and think. Like, we're not children, okay? I mean, honestly, some of these kids on TikTok, they are actual children, but the reason I started YouTube was because I noticed that a lot of commentary channels all say the same thing. They all have the same opinion. And I got bored. I'm like, okay, so is nobody gonna actually, like, say the truth, or what I deem as the truth? Obviously, we have our own perspectives, but I just felt like no one was really speaking their mind. They were just going along with what everybody else was saying. And, like, I really, really hate YouTuber disclaimers. Like, even I've done them before. They're so annoying. It's like, dude, just say what you have to say. People are gonna have a problem with it regardless, so you might as well just say it with your chest and not give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to hear it. If they want to disagree with you, if they want to get mad at you, they will. I mean, even I remember once I was like, oh, and just because I'm saying this, it doesn't mean XYZ. And people in the comments were still like, actually, no, because blah, 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 blah. It's like, you can never fucking win, so you might as well just talk your shit and take on whatever trolls that come your way, because that's just a part of being on the internet, honestly. I knew me coming on this platform would cause people to get triggered and to probably hate me because they don't agree with what I have to say, and whatever it is that I say triggers them. But, like, that's honestly fine with me, because you know what? If your opinion is so boring and dry that nobody disagrees or nobody feels some type of way about it, then, like, what's the point? The opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy. So I know that regardless, like, my content is making people actually think and feel And that's a good thing. Obviously, I don't enjoy seeing hate comments. I try to avoid them at all costs, and like am never out here trying to outwardly offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings, but I can't control how people feel after my videos. I can't control what people think of me. You know what they say, what others think of you is none of your business. And like, if I know in my heart I wasn't trying to cause any harm and I actually wasn't, like, I'm not going to give in to internet trolls, because so many influencers and YouTubers will like give some half-assed apology that they don't actually mean, but because they're afraid of being canceled or they're afraid of the mob, that they just give in right away. But I think that's why my channel is so successful, is because I speak my opinion unapologetically and I say the things that other people are too afraid to say. And I've heard that from you guys, like in my DMs or my comments. You're like, wow, I thought this for so long, but I was too afraid of being judged to say it. So that's why I make videos. And I hope that more people in the commentary space, or just the internet in general, I hope that it becomes more common, that people can openly say what they want and like just say it with their chest and not give a fuck. I don't think what I'm doing is particularly brave, but I know that a lot of people are not willing to say their authentic, raw opinion online because they're afraid of what other people will think. And I find the fact that YouTubers who don't actually like say their opinion or like tiptoe around shit, I find it to be incredibly inauthentic. I don't find it to be endearing or like empathetic whatsoever, because it's not actually coming from a place of empathy. It's coming from a place of fear because they're afraid of what others will say. And I don't think that's incredibly admirable. You don't have to give every unpopular opinion that you've ever had, but just be real. Just be honest. Like, that's what people want. That's what people want to hear, especially now because we're surrounded by so much bullshit and so many people are fed up with this whole mob mentality, cancel culture shit, that when they actually hear somebody who is honest and isn't afraid to speak their mind, it's like a breath of fresh fucking air. Along with becoming less sensitive, I also think that we need to put less weight on celebrities and influencers and YouTubers, because they're just fucking people. And so many people online hold these public figures to such a high standard, and they're so worried about what Billie Eilish is doing that they don't even pay attention to what the people in their real life are doing. The work starts at home, sis. Billie Eilish doesn't give a fuck about what you have to say about her on Twitter. But if your bestie is waving around a Confederate flag, where are the fucking priorities? Like, I literally have a video about that, and like, I feel like most of the people who watched that video disagreed with me, and I still believe that I am right. Like, I get that, you know, these people have influence, so they're influencing people, and like, I get it. I believe that you should use your platform for good. But I think we should just like put less weight and importance on celebrities in general, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. So many people say, I don't agree with everything you say. Like, thanks for letting me know. Like, I just kind of assumed that. Like, wow, like, congrats, man. You have some sort of critical thinking skills. Congratulations. I don't agree with everything my friends say or my family say, so why would I agree with everything that someone online says? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But that's the problem. Like, I think the internet has created this culture where it's like you have to agree with everything that someone says in order to support them. No, the fuck you don't. And like, I'm glad that you don't agree with everything I say, because it means you can like think for yourself. Like, I don't understand why that's such a like profound statement that people feel like they need to tell me all the time. I probably don't agree with everything I say. There are probably things I've said in past videos that I have a different perspective on now, and that's just a part of being a human being, which makes me honestly feel bad for any like super young person who blows up online or is super famous at a young age, because their past is just gonna follow them forever. And there's no room to grow or change, because people view a person on the internet as this like non-changing being, and it's like, you could make a video from like 2016 and someone today could watch that and assume that you still act and think that way, when that's just not how humans are. But I just wish that our generation was empowered to think for ourselves and form our own opinions. And the best way to form your own opinion is to surround yourself with a diverse digital diet. Watch things that maybe you think, I don't know if I'll agree with this, but it's a different perspective, and maybe it'll help me solidify my own beliefs, or maybe it'll help me question the beliefs that I have already. That's like a healthy thing to do. People are stuck in this echo chamber where they only consume content that they know will align with what they already believe, and that doesn't really create a space for growth. I think it's important to talk to people who you won't always agree with, or like just hear a different opinion, because honestly it gets kind of boring hearing the same shit over and over again, like I was saying before about commentary YouTube. And like, if you're so afraid of speaking your opinion, like, I don't know, just grow a backbone. I think you'll be okay. Like, I really do. Even if people disagree with you and they come for you in the moment, like, in the end it'll be okay, because you know what, all this exists on this device, right? But the great thing about this physical material item is that you can put it down. You can turn it off and, stand up with your human legs and walk outside the door and breathe air and touch grass and talk to real fucking people. And suddenly it doesn't really matter so much anymore, because, oh right, this is real life, not this. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do more often, is really like just take a breather, take a breath, really think, does this matter? Is this really that important that I need to spend 20 minutes typing out a paragraph to this content creator that's not even gonna read it? I mean, if it makes you feel better, go for it, but maybe just like do some breathing exercises. And you can always tell when people genuinely like don't talk to real people and like spend all day on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, because the way that they talk and the way that they think is just so warped and so like spoon-fed. It's like, yeah, you've never had an original thought a day in your life. Holy shit. I do think there will be some sort of like pendulum swing, and people will just be fed up with this shit and will go in the opposite direction, hopefully. Because that's kind of what happened before. Like, I feel like in the early 2000s and like 2010s, people were vicious, like just so fucked up, didn't give a fuck, no empathy found whatsoever. And then it kind of created this oversensitive culture where we're like, wow, it used to be so fucked up, we need to do better. And it's like, yeah, let's be more empathetic towards people, but at the same time, let's not attack people just because they have a fucking opinion. I actually want to read a message that I got from a subscriber on Instagram, and I think what she said perfectly encompasses why I made my channel in the first place. You have been an incredibly influential figure in my life. You challenged the way that I was taught to think about life. I am in school for journalism, and your perspective has helped me consume media and information in an unbiased way and has allowed me to learn how to draw my own conclusions. Also, I just want to thank you for using your time to spread your wisdom and help break normalized cycles of toxicity within our society. You will go down as one of the greats, which is like super fucking nice. Thank you. Oh my God. And like, yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to help people become a bit more unbiased and like just like be less reactive, man. Like, just, we live in such a reactive culture. There's no time for thinking. It's just like go, go, go. Like, that's exhausting, dude. It's fucking exhausting. That's why I made my video why I stopped hating men, because I'm tired. I'm fucking tired.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
I don't want to be on edge all the time. I just want to have fun and like relax and talk like a normal fucking person. So yeah, thanks again to today's sponsor, Surfshark. Link is in the description. And yeah, thank you again for 100,000 subscribers, man. Like, that's it's crazy. I'm very excited to connect with all the newbies out there and just to continue to grow this channel and hopefully make the internet a more relaxed place. That's all I got. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.